Hey guys, welcome to LG Overdrive. This is episode 5. I'm your host, Kingsman42. With us today, we have UT75.
How's it going, everybody?
Nice to see your mic's a little bit better this week.
Yeah, I figured out the problem, so we'll see how it goes after editing.
Work in progress, work in progress. Also with us, we have Aerators.
Again, somehow.
Is this Doghouse?
Apparently. Frog House? Ribbit?
And last but not least, making his debut this season, we have Risto.
What's up?
Nice to see you on the show finally.
Yeah, it took me a few weeks.
About a month, yeah. It's all good. So we're going to kick off the show starting with a little thing that Bryson brought up with the media guys, us, Ring Talk, Kaka, and just a couple guys that write some forum stuff like Darcy. He's talking about doing a media-wide all-star game talk and then doing awards. So instead of just one show doing it, everyone's going to work together to organize and plan it out. So this is something different because normally Overdrive's run the last few seasons, and we've been happy to do it. This is a nice little change. I know for myself, being the guy who runs Overdrive, it's been a stress in the past, so it's nice to have a different look. What do you guys think this is going to have towards the community, basically, because we're expanding our teams? Anyway.
I mean, you guys haven't talked about how you're going to do it yet, right? Like, are you trying to get these all-star games played, or are you just naming teams? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I know in the past when I did it, we did get the games played, just because the guys do like to go out and just have a game just for fun. Bragging rights, really. So.
I know when we did it for the CHO, we made it a tournament, so that each panelist picks a team, and then we have a 4-team tournament that then gets them playing. I mean, I think it'd be cool with the 4 different shows if maybe each show had a team and you did it that way. That's my 2 cents, but yeah, with a big team, it should be easy for you guys to get done and a lot easier than just having Overdrive do it.
Oh, 100%. UT?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think with the different teams and us having such a big team, it'll be good. But I've noticed that the AHL media team has grown exponentially, so I think in that nature things can get done.
Yeah.
So.
Risto?
Well, I think from the past seasons we've been doing it, and overall, we can all agree that nobody's ever going to be happy with anything that happens. Some people will like it, some people won't, but regardless, it usually turns out fairly well for most people.
Yeah, that's the key point there, is that it doesn't matter how good and how organized it's run, someone's just going to be pissed off about it in the end, but it normally runs well.
Yeah.
It starts choppy, and then as you get going, it gets a little better.
Yeah, with the All-Star game, that's one thing you guys are going to have to realize, is that no matter how you do it, what criteria you have, there's always going to be some shit player from some bottom feeder team that's like, why didn't we make it? So you just got to kind of put that behind you and try and put the best thing out that you guys can.
Sometimes it's the reverse, even, where somebody from a bottom feeder team who's actually decent gets bitched about because of some other player got snubbed, when some team has 17 good players and not all of them could be on an all-star team.
Exactly. All right. So with that, I know Bryson's going to be talking to us hopefully this weekend about that. We'll have a little more info, or he'll have a little more info for the rest of the league coming soon on that. But without further ado, we've missed it all season. We need some aids with Risto. So Risto, take it away, buddy. Alrighty.
So the first one of the season, feeling pretty good here. And this week's aids, this might be the last one of the season. Never know when I might not show up. But I'm making myself here. Had 2 0-3 weeks back in Bakersfield, starting to get back up with the Syracuse Peanut Butter Crunch boys. And, yeah, I'm going to give it to myself for sure. I got the Hartford Whalers jersey here today from Notorious Fat himself. Hopefully he's doing all good with his surgeries and his recovery as well. And I'm just draining in women right now. He told me it had a special effect. Oh, it's working.
Rocking that minor hood life, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's always good to have you back and explaining your aids. I know earlier this season you had a couple for us of like Texas's insane amount of trades and stupid stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, it could get worse. If I come back ever, it'll get worse.
Oh, of course. that's why it's AIDS, right? It gradually gets worse.
Yeah, there's never a shortage.
Terminal. All right, now we're going to move on to my segment. We have From the Point. So showcasing defensemen, good or bad, from Week 5, just so that you guys get your names out there. We have a couple new names on the list this week. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're all brand new names. So our point machine for the most points this week came from Lehigh Valley's own Nuge with 9 points. He also was our sniper for the week, potting 4 goals. We had 2 apple pickers for the most assists this week. We had Newfie Pennell from Milwaukee with 7, as well as Marshawn X63 from Rockford. I think that's Air Raiders boy. We had a 4-way tie this week for best plus minus with a +8, a pair of Bakersfield defensemen, as well as 1 Hershey defenseman and a Stockton defenseman. The worst plus minus comes from UT's very own Laval defenseman Shane Beauvais, 19, who is a -13 this week, and he also led the league in hits this week with 31. So I'll let UT talk about that one a little quick.
So yeah, if you ever play with this freaking Cubs thing, just let me know. So I'll give you guys a story because I know everybody wants to know what the chat box rant was about. So we were playing. This guy complains all the time. He doesn't get to play with the top lines, which he's not one of our top, defenders. So you're not going to play with the top lines. I'm sorry. So in the game, 1 goal goes in. He doesn't like it. Doesn't like how the forwards are playing. So he decides, hey, I'm just not going to play defense. And I start noticing what he's doing. I message him and say, hey man, play defense. He goes, nah, I'm good. And so, lo and behold, -13 came from last night. I have all the videos and everything. He just stayed up at the offensive side playing forward all game. Let me get 13 goals scored against me. So, out of 36 shots. So much you could do with 3-on-1s all night. So if you see Shane Beauvais, make sure you don't play with them. They'll just screw your team over. If he, for some reason, doesn't get banned out of this, there's no reason to have him.
So is he one of those guys that when you're in a drop-in game, when he pushes defense, he really means he wants to play forward?
He's the epitome of drop-in. He is the drop-in king. Like, that's where he belongs. He doesn't belong in this league. And the bad thing is that when I told him, hey, man, I would start playing here, this is a bannable thing, he goes, I've done this before. I'm not going to get banned. I go, well, thanks for the pictures. I appreciate it. So this is a league where everybody comes to have fun. He took it so seriously that after every game that he win or lose, he'd complain to me about management. I said, man, I'm not management. You need to fill out some kind of complaint in the action center. I have nothing to do with it. I have to stop pucks because you can't cover your guys. So, which I didn't do a lot of that this week, but. So.
Well, I mean, you were killing it this season, and your last couple of games are really going to hurt your chances for the Bass this season just because of one stupid defenseman.
Yep. That dropped me from an 8 save percentage to like a 0.78, so it dropped me, a whole 2%. So
that's going to hurt. All right, moving back on, we're going to go to most takeaways this week. We had Springfield's defenseman Welly 1993 with 20 takeaways. And most giveaways was also a Springfield defenseman Bog Josh 96 with 41 giveaways.
Wasn't Shane Beauvais because he did a lot of that, so. Idiot.
All right, without further ado, we're going to move on this week's. We're going to send it to UT. He's got Keepers of the Crease.
How's it going? I'm sorry, I'm still a little salty about last night. So, why a lot of you didn't see me in the chat box after that whole rant. So, usually I kind of keep it in there and see what's going on, poke some fun. But yeah. So we'll get into the Keepers of the Crease. I actually didn't make it to the bottom, so I'm proud of myself. I was close, but I didn't make it to the bottom. So this week's Keepers of the Crease, our top Guardians this week. Surprisingly enough, number 1 from Rochester, Angry Fraud 368505, posting an impressive 5-2. with a .933 save percentage and 1 goal against average, posting 3 shutouts against Bridgeport, Belleville, and Hartford. So he faced 104 shots this week. So
he played 7 games.
He might have had a 10-game week.
Yeah, probably. Still.
So coming in number 2 in our top Guardians is from the Devils, Iriva. Posted a 3-3 record with a .880 save percentage, 1.49 goals against average, and 2 shutouts. Our last one of the week, doesn't surprise me. You play in a good team, you're going to have good stats. From Manitoba, the recently acquired Got X Danks X went 3-0 on a .871 save percentage, 1.33 goals against average, and 1 shutout. So as you see, you play for Manitoba, doesn't matter. If you're trash, you can still do good.
Jesus.
So we'll go into our It's Never Too Late to Retire, everybody's favorite. This week from Bridgeport, it's Expendable Monkey. He only played 2 games this week. He went 1-1 with a .563 save percentage and a 3.17 goals against average. So not saving much in there, buddy. I'm sorry. But we'll move on to Tucson's very own Sweet Deep Bro. For some reason, he only played 2 games on the roster. Guess he couldn't play a lot this week. He had a .629 save percentage and a whopping 6.50 goals against average. So, rough week. I was close, but not that close. From Texas, we'll go to our always favorite Waxy Bone with a 1-4 record and a .662 save percentage with 4.52 goals against. So, there were some bad weeks this week. Mine included. I was close, but not that bad. So that is my Keepers of the Crease segment. Anything you guys want to say about any of the tops or bottoms this week?
I can say the bottoms still don't beat BS Paint Train's 12 goals against average in 2 games.
Yeah, even with my 13 goals against on that game, I still kept it under 6. So
I have shit to talk about a goalie, but I'll save it for the shout out at the end.
Oh, I like
that.
Yeah,
but I just think it's funny that it just shows you play for Manitoba, you can beat Dinks and still do well. So
now I'm getting word from Dudley that he wasn't gonna make the show tonight, as obvious, but he did pre-record his episode. So
hello. Hi everybody, my name is Dudley DeWright. I am not currently with the rest of the guys on Overdrive right now. It's because I am unavailable. Some people say it's a snowstorm, and in reality, I'm just here to save the world from feral cats. My jokes are funny. Okay, anyway, so I wouldn't want to rob you from this glorious bit that I do every week. Seems like you really enjoy it. So with that being said, here is today's top 10 list for LGAHL Overdrive. It is top 10 things we wonder about Tino. Now, if you don't know who Tino is, I strongly suggest you look in the AHL forum, and pretty much what will happen is once you look, Tino's a good guy, though. Actually, shout out to Tino, actually. He was the one that did our intro for Overdrive, so props to you, man. That was awesome. Really, thank you very much. So, that being said, top 10 things we wonder about Tino. Very strange fellow. I like the guy, but these are just 10 things that we worry about. So here we go. Number 10, or wonder about, rather. So here we go. Number 10, is he human? Number 9, is he the rights holder to Pepe the Frog? Number 8, does he sell narcotics? Does he do them? Does he do both? Number 7, is he fake news? Fake news. Is Tina fake news? I don't know. Number 6, is his caps lock button worn out? It's crazy because he can type out a post, and even though you can't, let's just say you hear the post. Number 5, is he a Roswell experiment set free? Number 4, does he have a knack? Number 3, does he own incredibly promiscuous frogs? Some people might be confused with that one. Number 2, Is he made of 75% Kaka and 12% Tino? Rather, 75% Kaka, 25% Tino. GG with the math, Dudley. And the number one thing we wonder about Kakatino, this joke has quit the LGAHL. Boom! All right, well, back to our regularly scheduled program. Buck, UT, Air Raiders, and the child named Risto. Get away.
But moving on, we're going to have our little bit of a discussion here, and this is something that I know that Air Raiders is having a little bit of problems with, and he's got a little bit of a rant about it. But it's about how easy or how hard it's been to trade this season as a GM in the AHL, and how for some teams it seems like impossible to trade with, and then with other teams it's just like boom, 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 done. So let Raiders talk a little bit more, because since he's a manager here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just people who have better relationships with people in the AHL or what it is, but it seems like a lot of times someone will message you or you'll message someone and be like, hey, what do you want for this guy? It's like a bottom pair D, let's say. And they're like, well, I want one of two of your top forwards and a D-man. And it's like, okay, you're Dudley, I had to cut that.
Put the duck in.
Oh.
You're stupid. But yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes it's like, you know, hey, what do you want for your best guy? And it's like, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to trade him. It depend on the offer. And they're like, well, how about my third line left wing? What? Like, no, like I don't understand. Like I could see and these are like bottom teams that are coming to you asking for your best players for like one of their worst, and it's like, I'm in a playoff spot right now. Why in the world would I ever make this trade? But then you see other teams like we were talking before the show started. Manitoba somehow got bailed out. They were in such a hole going into this week. $4 million over the cap. Needed to move some players to have a legal roster. And instead of the AHL kind of banding together and being like, hey, let's make them pay and break apart this top team, Texas, like a bunch of idiots, swoop in and go, yeah, just give me your $3 million defenseman for nothing because, you know, why not? And, like, just save them. I think it boggles my mind that these people are management. Like, get smarter. I'm going to ban for this segment if I keep talking. Someone else talk about it.
Well, I know from seasons past, as you said, like, it depends on the relationships, but, like, as you also just pointed out, like Manitoba, you want to make sure that one of the top teams doesn't always stay at the top, so that way at least sometimes you can beat them. And to get them out of a hole where they're that deep into, like, just to help them out like that, I don't know. Like, I guess it's nice on your part for helping them, but on a league-wide perspective, especially you coming as a division rival, like, that hurts when they drop cap like that for nothing, and they're still getting just as well.
And it's not even like, in real life, cap dumps work by like, okay, I have this guy with a huge contract, you have a guy with a smaller contract, I'll throw in a draft pick, and this way you can take the cap on. Like, so the team that needs to dump the cap will overpay in order to dump the cap. But when you look at these trades, like the one with Manitoba and Providence, Manitoba probably came out better out of that trade and dumped the cap. Same thing with the Texas thing. Like, you know, Neil's an okay defenseman. Might not be completely worth his contract. It's debatable, but still, like they come out better off of that because they were $4 million over the cap and they just cleared 3.25 for nothing.
Yeah, basically.
Like, you should have made them overpay to be able to get where they needed to get because they had no other choice but to do it, or they're forfeiting games Sunday night.
Like, this is where you were saying before the show. It's you have the chance to trade rape the fuck out of this team, and you didn't take it.
And you just went, no, it's okay. Like, let me help you out. Like, this is supposed to be a competitive league. You're not supposed to be nice.
But are you really surprised with it being Texas and them doing it with all the trades they've done anyways?
No.
It made no sense.
I don't even think Texas looks at rosters anymore. They're just like, ooh, trade, yes.
I think they just go like this. Oh, this for a bag of pucks. All three of them forwards for a bag of pucks. Sure, sounds fantastic.
Well, we touched on it. I think was it last week about the management chat? How Bolts was told not to message people by Karuch, and Karuch is telling people don't message Bolts, and Bolts is just PMing the fuck out of people, and how Courage is just like, don't listen to him, don't listen to him, don't listen to him, don't take what he says, like, we don't care.
Or you know, hypothetically speaking, since we're not entirely sure if we're allowed to talk about the management chat or not, but hypothetically speaking, someone posts a trade block and then someone else says, don't listen to that trade block, he didn't talk to me first. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about, too. That's the worst part.
Like, how does this happen? And it keeps happening every week. Courage is like, don't trade with Bolts, and yet Bolts is in everybody's messages.
Oh, God, Mike.
Someone's mic just went ballistic.
Good now.
Continue. Sorry.
Might have been mine. But yeah, he that match there, that Bolts and Karuch management team is a strange one for sure.
I mean, with the amount of trades they've made, at least they're gonna probably win the AHL's most trades ever. I think they got more
like that for a while now, though. Like, even when I was management last season, last season, he's always been kind of like that with the trades.
It's unreal. Like last season when I was at Salty Sailor, I think Salty and Courage made at least 9 trades together throughout the season. Like, that's stupid.
But Eric, like, get a reply back.
Like, what I think the worst part is like there was talk about a trade alliance between teams at the beginning of the season, and how there was rumors of that going on. So like certain teams working together to get specific players and not touch specific players, not bid them up, trade for specific players for the other guy, and flip them for nothing. And like you can see some teams are kind of like making the easiest trades, and then for top players, and they're just flipping around like it's nothing. And then you go to another team, and they're just like, "Nope, don't want to talk to you."
Here's another example. Okay, I was negotiating a trade for maybe like 2 weeks with this one guy from a certain team. I'll leave them nameless. And it seemed like every time I made an actual offer, the guy just went silent. Like he just stopped answering me. Like no yes, no hey, how about this, no counter, nothing. So then like some time would go by and I'd message again, and we'd have to go through the whole negotiation again. And then I'd make an offer, and then he'd go ghost. And it happened like 2 or 3 times. It was literally like negotiating a trade with Dory from Finding Nemo. Like after 5 minutes, they had no idea what we were even talking about.
That's a good one. I've never heard that.
And it's a text chat, so you could just read up and see what the fuck we were talking about 5 minutes ago. Finally, my AGM ended up getting the trade done, but it was just like, Jesus, like, what are we doing here?
Like when
I have a special appearance.
Sure.
You guys want to see the season 56 future UT 75035.5?
Oh, a future season 56?
Yeah, there you go. Looks just like you say hi?
UT 75.5?
Yeah, UT 75.5.
Already better than me.
He's already better than me at the game anyways. He's already better at the game, so.
He probably would have let in 12 instead of 13 with Shane.
No, he probably would have let in 6. He probably could have played defense better than Shane Bovain. Hey, by the way, Raiders, I'm just saying, not just hypothetically, I have a good lefty that's on the block. He's like a minus 25, so if you want him, we can talk.
Can't
wait for Baby Raiders to be scoring all over Baby UT in season 56.
Baby UT's got some pet skills. What he does.
And the worst part is, Risto will still be playing in season 56.
Yeah, I'll be around. I was just going to say that. He's pretty close to me. I'll be around.
At this rate, Risto might be the CHL commissioner in season 56.
Speaking of the CHL commissioner.
Oh, God. I got to leave.
No, I just want to touch on that quickly. You don't have to leave. Just I'd like to give a shout out to Pure Talent for getting the CHL commissioner Zeno banned for rage quit. Not banned, well, suspended for 2 weeks for rage quitting out of an NHL game the other night. I understand that there is other words that were said that made it seem like he didn't rage quit out of the game, but let's be real. They were playing with guys from Stockton. He probably rage quit out of the game. I'd want to rage quit if I played with guys from Stockton.
This wasn't Canada? Because I heard he likes to do that too. He did it against us twice. So.
And the savage level in this thing just increased like.
Hey, I've been saying everybody knows me. I'm usually pretty quiet. I get along with everybody, but I gotta throw in a little heat every once in a while to throw people off. Especially if they're being shot by Ryan. So I haven't seen him in a while. So.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Kakatino for continuing his great kakas this season. As we know as LG Frog House Ribbit.
Can I ask a legit question? Everybody loves Kaka. His videos are funny. When it comes to breaking the cock, as we've talked about so much, now we all know what frog is, right? Like, it's a derogatory term in a way. And I want to know how this doesn't break the cock.
Because I think in this sense, he's insulting himself.
Is he French Canadian?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Carry on, Kaka. I don't want to see him get banned. It's just it's been surprising to me that it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why.
He provides good media content, that's why. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to Darcy Kemper for continuing his forum threads. Check out his latest edition, Expose These Hoes, Manitoba's Top Line, where he goes through Manitoba's top 3 players that are currently still undefeated and says, are they pretenders? Are they contenders? Are they really what their stats say they are? Or are they just like a recipe following Fourth Line's recipe for success, aka scrub hunting?
Have you seen some of the responses to that?
Oh, I have. I've followed it very.
There's some salty. There's some saltiness in there.
That's all you got to do as a media member. Is just you got to create that saltiness. You know you're doing a good job. Raiders is the one that brought that up.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a benchmark for success in media.
Get everyone salty. That's what's so great about the All-Star game. You know you did something right when you pissed some people off. So, we're going to move on to our final shout-outs for this evening. I'll send it over to Risto first.
I don't really have one this week. I'll give a shout-out to Fat, I guess, again, for his for the jersey and stuff like that.
All right, UT?
Give a shout-out to Shane Bobay. You're the MVP of this year, so enjoy it if that happens. I hope to never play with you again. You're trash. Break your controller.
All right, I'm going to let Air Raiders have his little goalie shout-out here.
Yeah, well, anybody that's watched the show with me on it, my shout-outs are usually a fuck you, and I guess this one goes out to Frisky Beaver, who is apparently the biggest friggin' diva goalie I've ever met. Guy has a bad week. Admittedly, he had a really rough night Tuesday night. That's fine. Rage quits the team chat. Doesn't even talk to me. And then Wednesday morning puts in his trade request. So he's been shipped out. And I was nicer to him than I wanted to be. So he should probably thank me for that because he almost had a one-way ticket to Bakersfield. But
Poor Dudley. I think season 24 or something when Pierre was owning Hershey, he quit the Bears as well.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. You had one bad week. Granted, we're probably in a little bit more trouble after this bad week that we had. About losing the playoff spot 6 points ahead of the fifth person.
Is all fucky.
Is it good?
Yeah. Okay. Restart that sentence.
We're in a little bit more trouble with losing a playoff spot than we were before. Like the 5th place team is 6 points behind us instead of 10 now, but we're still in a playoff spot, and you're asking for a trade request off of a playoff team. Like I get it, defense was an issue that can be fixed, and now you'll be watching it from somewhere else. So, have fun, Hartford. I hope he's not a diva with you idiots.
Oh, fuck.
So tell him to have a 13 goals against game and see how you feel.
I know, right? UT stuck in there.
Yeah. Thanks, Shane Bobay.
I'd like to give a couple of shout-outs here. First shout-out I would like to give to Zaka and the San Diego management. I understand changes are on the way and possible explosions may happen in the San Diego locker room. Second shout out, I'd like to shout out Brighton and the boys on San Jose for continuing to somehow manage to get the cap to play their top players, even though they, quit, come back, make the roster again. And then my final shout out would be to my boy Mackie for somehow still being first in the league, because that's never happened before. And he's not scrub hunting, and he's not first in points. He's not up there, so shout out to you, buddy.
He's having a good season. I give it to him.
He is having a good
season. If you can get past his mouth and if you can get past who he is, he's fun to play with.
I also just want to touch on the fact that he has doubled the amount of assists that he has goals, so he's actually passing the puck this year. So, without further ado, unless Dudley has a shout out, we're going to head out for tonight, and we will catch you guys next.
Puck control by Harvey. One-timer. Oh, stick save. It's a penalty shot. Strength versus strength. Shoots. Score! Shatker's body position a little. Moving it to Wheeler. The Rangers wheel one ahead up the wing. And puck's loose, couldn't get through the roadblock. Bailey's in his own end, headed towards center. He knifed it away. Snapping a pass to Wheeler. Outlet up the middle to Pavel Bure. Score! Pavel Bure! Control. Skates out with it. Big drive. He hit the post. Score!